To TD Garden. It's Game Time live at the finals presented by YouTube TV. Great to have you with us. Grant Hill, Steve Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. I'm Matt Weiner. This was a much more interesting game tactically for both teams. The Mavericks came out, played much better, got into their offense a little earlier, took Luka off the ball in the backcourt maybe to save his legs. He was great most of the night. Still didn't get tons of easy buckets along the way, but Boston wasn't knocking down threes, and that was a leveler to some extent in this game. Smitty, in your mind, what was the difference ultimately?
You know, I think the difference was, like you said, is the Mavericks didn't get easy buckets. Also, they didn't knock down threes, but I got to give a lot of credit to just the overall defense of the Boston Celtics. Started off with Jrue Holiday, Derek White, and the entire team. They are locked in on making them take tough twos and also contested threes, and that's been the difference without fouling.
You know, I agree. I mean, you know, it was a night for Boston where it was not pretty.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't shoot the ball well. Their superstar, Jason Tatum, struggled mightily on the offensive end. Porzingis, particularly there down the stretch, we don't know the status of his situation, but appeared to be limping after a fall there in the fourth quarter. So every reason and excuse, or every reason to lose this game if you're Boston, but defensively getting stops, making plays, taking the challenge with Kyrie. Luka was great, but he had to work to be great and worked on both ends of the floor. And then just making play, that block at the end of the game by the P.J. Washington, just little things, a steal that led to a three by Jrue Holiday. Just making winning plays when your team needed it, even when you're struggling, was the difference.
And the point on Porzingis is well taken. Game 3 will happen on Wednesday in Dallas. He appeared to be laboring there late in the fourth quarter. Looked like maybe he was limping a little bit. And if you had forgotten, remember, he hadn't played since April 29th because of a right calf strain before Game 1. Shaq, to you, what was the difference tonight for Boston?
Well, I want to shout out the others for the Boston. Derek White, 18. Jrue Holiday, 26. Porzingis, 12. Once again, the Boston Stars played good enough, didn't play great. You know, usually in the finals, the 1-2 punch have, you know, marvelous historical games. But, you know, Charles Barkley said something. He's been saying it all year. The two stars for the Boston Celtics do not need to play well for the Boston to win. And if the others play like this, he's absolutely correct. They play well. They're at home. Listen, it was a different sort of game. It was a back and forth game. Nobody shot the ball well, but listen, the others stepped up. And this is why I'm always so high on the others. You know, I'm quick to brag about how many championships I got, but if it wasn't for the big shot Biles, you know, the B. Shaws and the Horace Grant and guys of that nature, I wouldn't have 4 championships. So, again, Tatum, Brown didn't have 2 great games. It does not matter. 2 more wins and you'll be national champion. So they just need to let this one go. And in the next game, it's going to be difficult down there in Dallas. One thing I know about Dallas, they're never going to quit. They're never going to give up. And they saw a lot of things that they could do positively today. So, weird game, though. You know, the atmosphere was weird. You know, the game was just weird. And then Mr. Kyrie Irving did not step up once again.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about here, and I might argue that although Jason Tatum didn't shoot the ball well, this game might have represented some growth for him in terms of the playmaking and some of the other things he did. He had, 12 assists on the night, only 3 turnovers, and for the most part, this entire Boston team has gotten really good at just making plays for each other.
Listen, they're very unselfish with the ball. You know, all this stuff about whose team is and who's the man, doesn't matter. This kid right here, Mr. White, he's been playing fabulous all players long. They definitely moved the ball, take high percentage shot, and I agree with you. Even though he didn't have a monster scoring game, he made the right play every time. Listen, he's a superstar. He could take those shots, but he made the right play, made the easy play, and his guys made him look good at times. They really didn't shoot the ball well from, 3. They were 10 for 39, 25%, but they hit timely shots, and that's all that matters.
They were 10 for 39. Dallas was 6 of 26, and the non-Lukas in this game were 2 of 17 from outside the three-point line. Let's be honest, the Mavericks have no chance of winning this series or competing in this series if they don't get more efficient shooting from others.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and those others, Matt, they get open shots because of the breakdown of Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Give the Boston Celtics defense. Luka's not been able to blow by and get easy shots to everybody else. He's making shots himself.
Yeah.
But Shaq said it, they're not getting that contribution and that force and that play from Kyrie Irving. You have one guy going, and the Boston Celtics, they have multiple guys going. It's going to be hard for Dallas to win if you don't get another guy going offensively.
Yeah, I mean, look, the other guys outside of Kyrie Irving, I mean, Derrick Jones, 11 points, 4-7 from the field. P.J. Washington, 17 points, didn't shoot the three ball well. Gafford was pretty efficient, 13 points on the interior. But 7 of 18 for Kyrie Irving. Like, he's just got to be a little bit more efficient than that. And the thing is, we've seen that. We've seen that this postseason. We've seen him take over. We've seen him, sort of reminded of his postseason greatness during this run. But we haven't seen it yet here in Boston in these 2 games. And maybe going back to Dallas, back in your familiar surroundings, you get away from the booing and all of the emotion being here in this building will help him. But he's got to play better. I mean, he's got to be better, and he can play better. And but the other guys, I thought they didn't shoot the three ball well, but they played with greater toughness. They were more efficient, and they were more engaged and involved in this game than they were game 1.
Do you think he was affected by all the chants?
I don't know. I really don't know. But I just think 2 games in a row where he struggled offensively and looked indecisive, and give credit. The defense of Boston is special, and multiple guys taking the challenge, doing a good job sliding their feet, really contesting everything and making life miserable for Kyrie Irving. Usually Kyrie Irving makes life miserable for the defender, but Jrue Holiday, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, all these guys stepping up, taking the challenge and doing a great job.
For all his willingness to engage with the crowd here, and he did again tonight, kind of egged them on when they were chanting his name and saying mean things about him. He'll be more comfortable in Dallas, obviously, and we'll see if that's reflected in his performance on the floor. You mentioned P.J. Washington. I thought maybe there was some growth. Look, it's the finals. There's not a lot of time to grow, but there was some growth in terms of taking what the defense gave him and being a little more aggressive and going to the rim tonight.
I totally agree with you, Matt. He had a good game. I mean, but that good game has to be that third guy. I mean, right now he's the second guy, and they're not getting anything off their bench.
Nothing.
They're not really getting anything off their bench, where Boston is doing a nice job of different guys stepping up. But I also think, yes, Kyrie didn't play well here in Boston, but you can't be that guy that has to be that second scorer. I think also for me, Shaq and Grant, he's playing off the ball too much, more like a spot-up shooter. He's not involved enough, and Kyrie at a standstill is easy to guard.
Let's get inside. Luka Doncic, always quick to the podium. He is there now. Let's hear what he said after a 32-point triple-double, but an 0-2 hole.
All right, first question, Tim.
Tim McMahon, ESPN. Luka, what have you been dealing with your chest? Was there any question in your mind about being able to go tonight? And, how are you feeling physically throughout this game, especially going into the fourth quarter?
I mean, yeah, actually it was. But, I always want to play. So we did all day. We did a lot of things to get ready for the game.
And how were you feeling physically tonight? Obviously a lot of minutes, going into the fourth quarter especially.
Good. I was okay. Second row.
Luka, it looked like you had an interaction with this Celtics owner. Did he do something or say something that you thought was over the line?
I'm sorry, I don't know who's the Celtics owner.
Was there somebody in the first row that you were having an exchange with that was the Celtics owner?
No. Mike.
Luka. Mike Curtis, the Dallas Morning News. In a game where the Celtics shot 26% from 3, Jason Tatum didn't have a necessarily good offensive outing. Does it feel like a missed opportunity that you guys weren't able to capitalize in a game like this?
Every game we lose, it's a missed opportunity for us.
The next one is a second round. For a seat. Second row for a seat.
Go here. No, we'll go here on the first row, pink shirt.
Mike Leslie, WFA. Luka, later in the game, it seemed like you guys started to be able to get more people involved, but for a while there, first and second quarter, even into the third, it seemed like it was heavily you. What did finally start to work, and how can you guys get more people involved offensively earlier on in the game?
So you said in the third there was less people involved?
I'm saying in the first half it was mostly you, and then you guys eventually started to get more people involved. What eventually worked?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it didn't work because we lost. But at the end of the day, we gotta make some more shots. I think my turnovers and my missed free throws cost us a game. So I gotta do way better in those two categories. But at the end of the day, we gotta make shots to win the game.
To the left, Tomer.
Tomer Zarla with clutch points. Luka, Celtics are already a deep team, and you guys have shown a lot of your depth, but when the shot making is not going down, it's a bit more apparent. I guess, how do you guys counteract their depth, just given that, Tatum and Brown can have an off night and Jrue can kind of go off?
Yeah, I mean, they're good. That's why they're the number one team in the NBA with the number one record. They have a lot of great players. Practically anybody can get off. So honestly, I think we didn't do a bad job defending today. We took away some threes. We contested more threes. But like I said, I had too many turnovers and we missed a lot of free throws. So I think that cost us a game.
Third row on the right, left.
Tadeja Lampret, Pop TV. Luka, igro Bostona ste seveda...
Back here on the floor at TD Garden with Jaylen Brown, who had 21 points and 7 assists tonight. And Jaylen, this one was obviously more of a grind than the Game 1 victory. What in your mind was the difference for you?
We just made plays down the stretch. Give credit to Dallas. They came out and they played a much better game, much tougher game. And we just kept going, kept wearing on them, kept trying to wear them down, and we made enough plays to win the game.
2 games up. Really a chance you can get really